Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming out and watching the Real Short Box live podcast today. My name is Donald, and to my right, I guess, would be
Jared. Pow 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 bang bang. Yeah, I'm Yosemite Sam.
Great, he's got guns. Awesome. Oh boy. Hey, can you levitate yourself by shooting into the ground?
Let me see. Whoa!
What?
Yeah, apparently I can.
That's amazing.
And I never run out of roll.
Holy crap. I'm stoked for that. That's exciting.
Yeah, sorry about that. Something wrong with my internet. I was trying to dial in. It was giving me trouble.
Uh-oh. Well, there's Kevin, everybody. He's coming up here in a second. He'll be joining us here. Let me add Kevin on in. There he goes. All right. Now, gentlemen, I'm going to go to our page. So if you guys want to chat a little bit to the audience, I'm going to start setting this up for the stream.
Jared, are you like Rick or something from Walking Dead? You feel there's some zombies you got to shoot?
I'm Yosemite Sam. Yeah, woo! What happens when you dig through your old boxes, find guns? Apparently, I was watching a lot of Tombstone, and I wanted to work on my draw.
Hey, that's a great movie.
That is a movie that if it's on like anytime, any place in the movie, I can just watch it.
Kevin, are you getting into a fight with your laptop by chance?
It should be fine now. I'm wired in. I moved to that location where you said I look better or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So, right near the bookshelf.
Oh, that's lovely. Lovely little bit of bookshelf.
Yeah. I got asked a question from Hector about, are we on live yet?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, never mind. Nah, it was just about what I can post.
Wait, are we live? I better put my balls back in my pants.
Well, I don't want to... All right, so I can send a link now, right? It's on the Facebook page?
Nope, haven't done it yet. Getting there.
Okay, because people were asking me about it, so I'm like, all right.
Getting there. I just published us on YouTube so people can find us now, so we're good there.
Okay.
And now I'm going to go to Facebook and post it there. We're close. We're very close. It's too quiet.
Hey, everybody out there in podcast land. Did I mention again? Bang, bang, bang. Oh, well, sorry.
There we go. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. Kevin, you pick up any key books? Any keys? Any keys for your collection?
Not recently. You?
Nah, I just got a Daredevil #1. What was it? Journey into Mystery, first Thor. I got a Tales of Suspense, Iron Man.
Man, you're supposed to save that for the special pod later this month.
Oh, right. Called My Lies, Jarrett's Lies.
Hey, great post last night from Clark F. Gable. That was good. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I don't mess around. He doesn't mess around. It's crazy. So we're going to get to the semifinals today, right?
No. This is the second round, actually.
Right.
Next week is going to be the quarterfinals, and then a week after that will be the Final Four.
Right.
The
Final Four and championship round all in one shot.
Yeah.
And I'm putting money on one of your characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Doiby Jekyll? No.
Hey, you never know. He's a tough little bastard. No, actually, the other guy.
Frankie? It's a good guy to put money on. It's a good guy.
Mm-hmm. He's a violent dude.
I haven't been reading the current Goon, and I feel shameful about that. I should do that.
It's a good book. Good read.
The Goon's great. It's like actually one of my favorite comics, but
Well, I mean, like this current thing, the current one you're reading.
Current one, I mean, it's got to be good. It's the same creator completely, you know. So it's not like the quality would go down. It's not like it switched. It's like it's all creator owned by Art Powell, and he does everything. He does the art. He does the writing. So it's got to be good.
By the way, Donald gave me a cool suggestion. Okay.
Very slow to post, guys. I'm trying. It's just everything's a little slow today for some reason.
Well, come on now. You know why? Everything going on. The infrastructure is going to be a little wacky.
That's right. We're podcasting from the wasteland.
That's true.
Pretty close to it.
By the way, is little Clark Gable armed and ready?
Yeah, he's got his jammies on. He just had a bath. He's ready to kill. There
you go. And he does have a very significant weapon, secret weapon that most people don't know about. That little guys like that would have. Biological. He has a biological weapon.
Right. His diapers.
Oh yes.
His diapers. Kevin, is your phone thing doing the signal thing again?
No.
So that's not you receiving information on more Bitcoin?
No, sir, it's not. I think it's Jared.
No, I still want that Bitcoin.
He's like, I still hold my Bitcoin. Oh, man, you're funny.
So we're still waiting for Darren, too, right?
Nah, we're going to get started here in a moment. I just can't get this to copy and paste on Facebook through the laptop, so I'm going to close it out and just do it on my phone here. People are going to get bored and shut this off if you guys don't talk.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I keep forgetting we're live. Yep. You know,
I'm doing actual work here. I can't do everything. I'm trying to talk.
Well, Jared, let me ask you something. You know, how do you feel about the Snyder Cut coming out next year on HBO Max for 2021?
Well, being that I never saw the original, and being that I'm probably one of the least... I'm probably like, if there was a Zack Snyder fan over here, I'd be over there.
Really?
I think he makes really pretty pictures.
Visuals, yeah.
Visuals are stunning. I mean, like they look exactly like what, you know, they look amazing. But I'd never ever feel any soul to his work. I thought Watchmen was like a picture perfect rendition of the comic, but I didn't feel anything for anybody. It just felt like he was doing live action panels.
So you feel like he's like another Michael Bay in that sense, a soulless action movie with nice visuals.
Yes. Yeah. Same with like 300, another one. I was like, it's a good gay porno, but you know.
I see.
Digital.
Now, Dawn of the Dead was cool. His Dawn of the Dead remake was cool.
I did not see that, so I cannot comment on that.
Okay, it's posted on my page, guys. You should see it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look it up. Your page, you said, right? On Facebook?
Yep.
All right, give me a second. Let me try this. Let me back out. Because the only one I saw was like from an hour earlier.
Yep, that's because I just posted it.
Okay, I think this is it. It just says 1 hour ago, though, not 1 minute ago.
No, then that's not it.
All right, let me back out.
You refresh your goddamn page, Kevin.
Just go to the live. You can go to the live link and see it. I got it right now.
Oh, on YouTube itself?
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
Let's see.
What about you, Donald? I know you have some respect for Snyder. Are you interested in this new cut?
I hated the Justice League movie, so I could give a shit less, to be honest.
If they want to put the Snyder Cut makes more sense, they say. It says it's more coherent.
It's got to be 3 hours long.
No, it's not going to be 3 hours long.
Horse piss. It's got to be 3 hours long.
No, it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, I thought you cried in the movie theater when you saw the original cut. I thought you were touched.
No, I was being touched. That's why I was crying.
Oh, yeah, that'll also affect your
I
viewing
see.
pleasure. And I say pleasure with quotations because we know that you're not having fun.
No, I wasn't.
All right, we're up on my page. We're up.
I was like, "You're not my grandpa." Really awkward.
All right. Sending the link out to everybody.
Cool.
Now, there's a rumor of another cut of another movie from DC, which I certainly am not interested in. David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad.
Why does it look like you've reclined and you're falling? Like, flail your arms about. Do this.
It's like a scene from that movie Dreamscape. Where he's like,
Really? I'm stable.
It definitely looks like you're falling.
Oh, that's weird. Well, you know why? I thought about it. This chair I'm sitting in does have a little more of a lean to it. But the funny thing is, I set it up in such a way where it shouldn't be doing that at all. So that's why I don't feel like I'm leaning. Maybe it seems that way.
all right, I sent it out to all my peeps and the Super Palooks and the page, some other friends. I sent it to Arm Fall Off Boy.
Arm Fall Off Boy. That's a nice name.
Yeah.
Oh, Arm Fall Off. Did you send it to Evan? Kevin, did you send it to Evan?
Evan, I'll do that. Give me a moment. We
got to ask him how that boarding up of the shop went.
Oh, yeah, he boarded up We Can Be Heroes?
Yeah, they boarded up today.
Makes sense.
They did, and Neil Adams, Krusty Bunkers did as well.
Yeah, because it's out in Van Nuys now, right? It's going down in Van Nuys, going down.
Well, is it a protest in Van Nuys or is
no? Like serious looting is going on in Van Nuys and at the Topanga Mall.
Ouch.
Yep. So now it's come to the valley finally. Unfortunately.
Yay! I'm so thankful that NoHo West thing did not get off the ground. Like just yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, because if it did, that's another big mall-like area that they would have hit.
Right.
We were going to have a peaceful protest downtown Napa, and then they canceled it last minute because some people were... It's total, like, rumors. Like, they're like, oh, Antifa is coming and all this stupid stuff. I think they ended up doing a protest, and it went fine. It went swimmingly.
Well, you see, the thing that bothers me is you have people mixed in with peaceful protesters who are provocateurs and just straight-up criminals looking to cause trouble, and it just destroys the whole purpose, Yeah.
That's what people are saying. Looters are not protesters. That's what they're,
Right, exactly. And a man like yourself, I know that you're a peaceful protester. I know those guns of Yosemite Sam would be used for proper purposes.
I think you actually shoot those like old caps that I don't even know if you could buy those anymore. Like the caps.
Oh yeah, I remember those back in the day.
Yeah, like the rolled caps.
Yeah.
I got
have like those little red ends on them, if I remember. They had little red ends on them.
Mm-hmm. Bang bang.
Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack.
For mankind.
Oh, by the way, I remember you met him one time at Comic-Con, but he was nice. He was walking around very slowly and asked you just to wait a bit to speak to him.
Who, Donald or me?
Donald.
What? What happened?
Did you tell me you met McFoley, Cactus Jack at Comic-Con, but he said if you wait one moment.
Yeah, me and
very slow.
Me and Pistol Pete met him there at the ice cream shop at Ghirardelli's in San Diego at Comic-Con. And we came up to him. Pete really wanted to get a picture with him. And he's like, hey, I'm a big fan. Can I get my picture? And he's like, yeah. He's like, can you just 1 minute, though? He's like, I got to. He's holding his ice cream in his left hand. He's like, I got to get my ice cream here down, and I'll give me 1 sec. And so he got it. He got the ice cream, and then he walked over to his table and he set it down. He's like, "All right, come on over." And then Pete walked over and we snapped a shot for him. So he was super cool about it.
What a jerk, huh?
Yeah, right.
I didn't just do an immediate picture. What an asshole.
He should have shoved the ice cream in Pete's face and been like, "You like that, you piece of shit," and then start to fight.
ECW. Yeah.
Yeah.
ECW, yeah, ECW chant. That's right. You used to watch ECW too, right? Even though you grew up here on the West Coast.
I watched. I didn't watch ECW when it came out. I watched it like I think I saw like later matches and stuff.
Okay, so after it died, essentially.
I watched it when it like was absorbed by the WWE. Pretty much.
He watched it.
Okay, you saw that version. You see the original version from the 90s. Oh my goodness, Jared! If you go on YouTube or some other channel, just look up the '90s version of it. Oh my goodness, you'll be blown away.
It's all just like mayhem and tables, ladders, chairs, and.
Well, it's that, but also there was a lot of good wrestling talent that was there. Yeah. So you'll see them how they worked in their younger days, and it's great. It's like fantastic. It's fantastic.
Like Rob Van Dam and stuff come out of that.
Yep. Rob Van Dam was there, but his work there is awesome. Like Taz, his work there is awesome. Because when he got the WWF, it wasn't as good because he was, his body was kind of busted up at that point by the time he got the WWF. But if you see his work and Sabu, Rob Van Dam, the Dudley Boys, great stuff. Chris Benoit, being what it is, that guy, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko, oh my gosh, Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero. Great stuff. Great work there.
That's right. Pretty much all the guys who actually had talent wrestling.
Yep. And even Steve Austin, before he became Stone Cold, he was over there in between WCW and WWF. That's where he was for a few months. He did a couple of matches there as well. He actually developed his Stone Cold persona in ECW before he went to WWF. So he actually credits ECW for helping him develop that new persona.
The more you know.
The more you know. Even Don McKinney was into that. I mean, he did a little wrestling in his day back in the 90s to pay for school.
That's right.
It's true.
Huge on the indie circuit.
Yes, right. You see Donald's forehead? You saw he cut himself a few times back in the day,
Oh, that's well, actually, yes, I did. I do have a scar, if you could, like, around here somewhere, but,
See, someone hit him with a chair, so...
No, I headbutted a cement pillar.
Oh.
I'd seen it on a wrestling show, and I thought that I could just crush it, and I just went, boom, like that, and, my forehead started bleeding, and I started screaming, and I ran off. My mom was chasing me. I was 4 or 5.
There's a movie that this reminds me of for some reason. It's called American Movie. You guys ever see it? It's a documentary about a guy who's trying to make his horror film that he keeps calling Coven, even though it's pronounced Coven. Yeah. And it's just like this low budget. It's amazing. Like the guy is just a character. But there's a scene where they're doing a scene where he's gonna ram this guy's head through like a cabinet, and they're like, all right, you ready? We have the wood all set up so it's going to crack easily, like on the second time. And he just bashes this guy's head in like 3 times and it's not breaking. And then he's like, oh, dude, man, we got to check this out. And he's looking, the wood was like just solid. There was no stirring it or anything. The guy's got blood on his forehead. He's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
Yeah. American Movie. Go see that. It's hilarious.
That is awesome. So that would explain why Darren's late. He's probably getting his head ran into something.
Oh,
I'd imagine.
See it on the news.
I'd imagine. But that being said, we have a little sidekick action to go through tonight. Yes, Jen, I believe round 2.
Yep.
Didn't want to bring up too much about what's going on in the world right now because we all want to kind of escape from that. But that is actually the reason Darren is late is because of the protesting and stuff and the looting. He's actually having trouble getting home to be able to set up. So it's unfortunate. It is what it is. People getting home to be able to set up. So whoa, what was that?
Did you hear that?
Mute your phone, for the love of God! How many times I got to tell you? Dear
Some
Lord.
evil person. It's a troll.
Yeah. I can see him. I'm looking right at him.
Okay, so I'm trying to send a link. And the thing opens by itself. I'm sorry.
Well, that's when you turn the volume completely down. Let me show you right here on my phone. There's a side button, and you can see where I'm pushing, and the volume is going down. Look at it. Now it says mute.
Ooh.
It's a cool function, right? Cool.
I got it.
Yeah. Glad I could help. Anyway, Maria says hello. Janet says hello. Arm Fall Off Boy says hello. Howdy, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Hopefully we'll have some more people pop on. I understand if we're not too crowded in here tonight for obvious reasons, but we'll see if we can bring a little joy to everybody's hearts, particularly mine, because I'm very Grinch-like and I need it to grow just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's because there's the season finale of Seinfeld, right? Is that why people probably won't be here?
Yes, if it's 1998, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I was in a coma for a little bit, and I just came out, and I things are weird right now, I'm going to say.
Yeah, I would imagine they would be pretty weird if you were in a coma and they just came out of it and you were in 2020.
But I am looking forward to that Seinfeld finale. That show is hilarious.
He has a stand-up special on Netflix right now where he talks about the future, so you'll enjoy that.
I don't know what Netflix is.
Yeah. It's like a video store in your home.
This is Jarrett, 1998. How you doing?
Yeah. All right, so let's get started on this. I have a list here. We'll go down it. Jared, I think I'll have you take on the first match if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I'm going to pull up the characters here, so give me a moment for that, everybody. It's going to be a fun one. We are going to go.
Jared, you got to check out. There's some cool visuals things that Donald and I, or really Donald, he was showing me that he's added to the show. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, you're we make you have bunny ears and a little cute face, and it's great.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm just constantly like one of those little animated character things.
Yep. Constantly.
Like a dancing bear or something with my face on it.
Okay, so in between Jarrett and Kevin, we have Derby or Dorby Dickles, and in between me and Jarrett, we have the contender for the battle. We have Frankie from the Goon. And
bring it on.
I guess if you could do a quick overview of the two characters so people that have not known who these are can, and those have heard it before won't be bored by it.
All right. Derby Dickles was the sidekick to Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern. The one whose weakness was, if you don't remember, wood. That's right. You could just throw like a piece of stick at him and he couldn't do anything.
Paper cuts would kill him, from what I hear.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, wood. That was his weakness. Green Lanterns, they superpowered, or any DC character, immense powers with really silly weaknesses. He was kind of a stereotypical, I mean, as you can see, like a kind of stereotypical like Irish hoodlum, except he, and I guess it's Derby Dickles because he wore a derby hat. He doesn't have any superpowers, but he's a skilled street fighter and driver. So like he's like Ryan Gosling. He could just get you out of places. He used his taxi to drive Green Lantern to. Why would Green Lantern need to get into a taxi? Anyway, he'd use his taxi to get Green Lantern to any location and or during car chases.
Look, man, it's 1940s.
He's like, I could fly because I have this like ultimate powerful ring, but I'm gonna get in your cab. Let's see. Sometimes while fighting, he used a pipe wrench as a weapon, which allowed him to knock out his enemies. He has a New York accent. That was something they felt they had to say. So Derby Dickles is a street tough, no nonsense Irish guy. He's gonna pound you with his wrench. Now on the other hand, we got Frankie, who is the Goon sidekick. The Goon was a character created by Eric Powell. It was originally on Albatross Comics, then Dark Horse, and now it's back to I think his own independent label. But Frankie is another street tough. He was originally kind of like for the parlance of the times, he was a sissy boy who met the Goon, and the Goon awakened in him his love of violence. And Frankie became, after he killed a zombie with an axe, he realized that he loved violence. And his favorite catchphrase is knife to the eye, which is when he stabs somebody in the eye with a knife. He's also proficient with a Tommy gun. Now, there you go. That's the hat for this fight. Now, the way I see this going is Derby Dickles looks like a more grown-up ruffian, whereas Frankie he's on the younger side. Not that he's not as tough, but I kind of think Derby has, that's like one of those tongue twisters. Derby Dickles has one of those kind of grown man, angry dad strains. So I figure they're going to kind of bump into each other. It's going to become a fist fight. Or first it's going to become a, like, you know, puffing up kind of thing. Frankie's like a foot too smaller than Derby. So Derby's going to kind of shove him. Frankie's going to come back. Doiby's going to knock Frankie to the ground. Frankie's going to be like, knife to the eye. But before he can get his knife to the eye, Doiby's going to take out his wrench and just smack his hand out, just like bash his hand up. So his wrist is broken. Frankie's going to smack Frankie in the face with the wrench. Frankie's going to go down, missing a couple teeth, bleeding everywhere, like runs off because he knows he's beat. So, but it doesn't end there. Then Doiby's like, oh, yeah, in my New York accent, I'm going to go get a drink and celebrate. So he goes to the local bar, and he's like, all right, let me get a whiskey sour and whatever beer you have on tap. And he's drinking his Boilermaker. He puts his wrench down. And then next thing you hear is fire. Gunshots ring out through the glass. Doiby Dickles is lit up by Tommy gun fire as Frankie, who stole the taxi of Doiby Dickles, and his one hand, that's good. He's shooting him with the Tommy gun. He blows him away. Frankie takes it. But, you know, he took quite the beating. And he didn't play fair.
It's pretty rough for him, I guess, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Dang. That's a tough
So he
time.
lost some teeth. He broke his wrist, maybe smashed his hand, but he still won.
Good. Good for Frankie. Good for Frankie. I'm getting a little bit of reverb. If y'all can check your volumes there, please.
All right, no problem.
Like a little bit of, what is it? Backwash.
I put mine down.
Okay. So, Doiby or Derby or whatever the hell.
Derby. Done.
Derpy Dingles is gone.
Yeah.
Bye, Derpy. And we're moving Frankie on into the, what, semifinals?
Quarterfinals, actually.
Quarterfinals. So Frankie's moved on into the quarterfinals. Congratulations to Frankie.
Frankie!
Oh, Sammy says hello, everybody. And Enrique says, I'm late, but I'm here. So thanks for coming, guys. We appreciate it.
Hey, Enrique.
Massacre of a tough New York guy by another tough guy.
Yeah. Yeah, see? Yeah, I'm going to bust you out. Okay. Kevin, you want to take one next?
Yeah, let's do Oracle versus War Machine.
Okay. That'll be a fun one. Let me pull him up here.
Oh, it might be a tragedy. And I'm sure Jarrett will have a certain thought in his mind. I was influenced a little bit by something that Don and I talked about. I already knew who was going to win this one, but Don gave me a great idea to add to the logic of why this person would win.
Okay. I have some theories already, but go on.
Mm-hmm.
Janet, unfortunately, Derby Dickles or whatever, he did not make it. He was the Irish dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not make it. Frankie took that one, Janet. I'm sorry.
But he had a good start. It was a good start.
He did. He did look like he was going to win. Now we have Oracle versus War Machine. So Oracle's right between me and Jarrett, and War Machine is between Jarrett and Kevin. So if you want to get started on that.
Sure. Real quick, Oracle is Barbara Gordon, formerly known as Batgirl, and I guess now, depending on what is going on today in DC Comics, is Batgirl again through different things. But Oracle was a very a very special character that Barbara Gordon became after she was paralyzed by the Joker. And she already had a very high intelligence, and she worked on being essentially a main computer specialist and someone who can get information to different superheroes between the Bat Family and the Justice League. War Machine, James Rhodes, is a best friend of Tony Stark, a Marine, a well-versed military man, and he has an armor similar to Tony Stark's. Not as good, but sufficient enough, as Don would say.
Right,
so
me.
The way I see it gets the job done. He's the War Machine. Got plenty of weapons on there. The way I see this going down is, since Oracle is, a master computer specialist, I can see War Machine approaching her location and trying to, target and take her out. But being that Oracle is Oracle, she would probably hack into Stark Industries' mainframe computer and basically take over the suit. But to really torture Rhodey, she'll lock him in that suit so he can't get out of it. He knows he's in trouble, but he's not going to be able to get out.
It's like being stuck on a roller coaster.
Yeah, being stuck in a roller coaster. It's kind of like, like a Tesla, how they're like electronically controlled, and let's say someone hacked it and you can't get out of it. Well, he'll basically be stuck in his suit. And to add to the torture, Oracle will use and reactivate a character from last week that was defeated, and that will be Stripes. The Stripe armored robot suit will be activated, and it will unfortunately devastate Mr. Rhodes in the War Machine outfit and kill him, basically.
Yeah, because he basically can't fight back. She'll probably have him dive down in the Grand Canyon and land face first and bring him back up and whip him around someplace else, and then have Stripe come for him, and that's pretty much it.
And then when they come to investigate the crime, they'll think that Stripe did it. They'll have no idea that this was done by Oracle. So she'll basically have clean hands for all intents and purposes.
And then they'll open up the Stripe armor and find a dead guy inside, just all like super rotted. They'll be like, "Wait, what? This doesn't make any sense on the time."
I know, it won't make any sense. There's already a dead guy in there. How did he kill this guy? If this guy was already dead, 24 hours earlier, 48 hours earlier, how is it possible that a dead man can operate a machine? And that would be the big mystery.
Your mic, Jared, is a little hard to hear. Can you speak again for me real quick?
Yeah, got it?
Yeah, okay, got it. All right, thank you. Okay, so we have Oracle taking that one. War Machine is out of the game. So goodbye, War Machine. Say goodbye.
Bye, Rhodey. Sorry, Rhodey.
And we have Oracle. So she's made it on into the quarterfinals.
Oh, nice.
All right, I'm going to take the next one, gents. Let me pull up my characters here. I have got some fun stuff for us here. We are going to go with the spoiler, which right now is between Jarrett and Kevin. And that's Stephanie Brown. And the spoiler is going to be taking on somebody. And who would that somebody be? Why, none other than the Tick's sidekick, Arthur.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
So we have Arthur fighting the spoiler. Now, again, the way I see this going down, Spoiler is the daughter of Cluemaster. Mm-hmm. And here's a quick piece of trivia for you that I did not know, really, or actually I knew, but I didn't think about it. But Stephanie Brown, the Spoiler, is the only character in the DC Universe to be both Robin and Batgirl.
Oh, nice.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's a good one to pull out.
Trivia.
Yeah. So she's got some clout here. You know, she's good enough to be Batgirl. She's good enough to be Robin, which is Batman's sidekick. And she's just good enough to be the Cluemaster's daughter. Although he never really wanted her and tried to kill her multiple times.
Which makes her damaged, which makes her unpredictable.
Right, which does make her unpredictable and damaged. I don't know of any character that's more damaged than Arthur, though. This man has some issues. And his issues are that he just doesn't know who he is or what the hell he's doing. He puts on this suit and he flies around and he stumbles and he somehow always makes it through. that's not always going to work for him, particularly in the Tick universe it will, but outside the Tick universe, not necessarily so. Stephanie Brown's a pretty tough cookie to beat. And I think the way this goes down is that basically he thinks she's a thief. She's dressed, she's got that mask thing over her face that we all have right now, anyway. Kevin, I think it's you that's getting that reverb back. You're going to have to do something with that and put in headphones or something at some point, because it's getting pretty bad.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay.
You know what? It's funny. When I was at my old location, it wasn't a problem.
No, it's always, there's always been some reverb. I think it's because it just bounces off of you, so it causes that to come back. I could be wrong, but give that a shot and see if that works. This might solve the issue.
All right, is this better with my headset on? Or a little
well, you sound good.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I think we fixed the problem.
All right.
All right, so you were the problem, Kevin.
Of course.
Anyway, okay, so getting right back to it. So Janet just says, I'm going to pull her up here. She's got a little thought on this. Janet says, I love Arthur, go guy. So Janet's a big fan of Arthur. And Eli, oh hey Eli, how you doing, buddy? He says, finally caught you guys live again. So thanks for coming on, Eli. We appreciate it very, very much.
Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yes. So thank you. So right now we're dealing, if you guys are just tuning in, we're dealing with Arthur versus the spoiler. He thinks she's a thief. He's going to try and stop her. She's going to say, no, I'm not a thief. He's like, oh, okay, no problem. Goes to put his wings away, but just closes them and reopens them, knocks her backwards. She falls back off the roof and into the little fire escape off to the side of the building that he's landed on and that she was on top of. She hangs on. She comes back up. She's like, what the hell, man? And he's like, I'm so sorry. These things have a mind of their own. I don't know what I'm doing. Just then a big gush of wind picks him up into the air. He swings past her and kicks her right in the face, knocks her back down. She barely clings to the side of the building, not quite falling off the roof again onto the fire escape. She's like, okay, this guy's screwing with me, game on. She takes out her little nunchuck baton thing, or whatever you want to call it, and uses that as a weapon, strikes his wings, knocks him out of the air. Only problem with that, though, is when you knock a moth out of the air, what do they do 9 times out of 10? They will spiral. So,
Right.
He spirals down and unpredictably kicks her directly into the gut, knocks her back off again onto the fire escape, but this time, when he lands finally, he rolls, falls off the roof of the building, lands on top of her, and doesn't break her neck, but hurts her pretty good. Knocks her back because she's just getting back up, and he knocks her back down. She hits her head on the back of the fire escape. So she's really dazed at this point. He's like, oh, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do this. This is not who I am. This is not what I do. I'm the partner with the Tick. We're heroes. We're superheroes. This is what we do. He goes to pick her up. She grabs his hand. He hears spoon in the background. He lets go and goes tick like that, and she falls backwards again, this time falling completely off the fire escape and onto the ground, paralyzing her. Pretty much
good Lord.
Ending the fight. Now we have an example where we have either a new superhero that's going to form, Oracle Point 2, or a new supervillain that's going to form, which would be Cluemaster Point 2. You decide on that one.
I'll go with Cluemaster.
It didn't end her, but it definitely ended the fight. Unfortunately,
So
Arthur
won by having Jar Jar Binks' powers.
Yes. That's exactly it. That's exactly how he wins. I honestly, thinking going forward, I don't see him winning much more than this. But I could see how he could take Oracle, or not Oracle, Spoiler, and I do see this as a win for him. An accidental win, but a win nonetheless.
Also, an accidental, like, one of the most brutal fights so far. That was, like, one of the most brutal ones.
Yeah, kind of in a way, but he really didn't mean any of it, poor guy. But
I've
Arthur,
been
you
there.
win, and you move on into the quarterfinals. So Arthur's moved on.
Wow, we got an interesting group so far.
Yeah. Jarrett, who do you have next?
I have Rick Jones versus
yes.
Wally West, the Flash.
This is great. What did we call this, Kevin? We called this the immovable force versus the...
No, irresistible force versus the immovable object.
That's it. Thank you.
That's right. Because we're doing so. Rick Jones, real quick, was the ultimate sidekick. He was sidekick to. He's the reason why the Hulk is the Hulk. He caused all that on accident. He was sidekick to Captain Marvel. He was sidekick to Captain America. He was sidekick to Rom for a little bit. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Space Knight, yeah. But he would always end up going back to the Hulk. He eventually got Darren.
Hello, friends.
Hey.
How you doing,
Please.
sir?
Well, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
You've
We're
made it.
talking Rick Jones versus Wally West.
We're going to add you in. There you go. He's in.
Excellent. Thank you. I apologize for being late. There were some extracurricular activities you may have heard of. But here I am. I'm ready to go, and I'm
saw you on
excited.
TV. I saw you on TV a few minutes ago, sir.
Did you get those new Nikes?
I will not confirm nor deny that rumor. But, I think we at the Real Short Box like to show our integrity by not commenting on current events, and I will remain that vow of silence.
All right.
So right
We're
now,
talking
Darren, you just
serious
popped
things,
in.
people like fighting imaginary sidekicks. All right.
Absolutely. That's
We-
more serious business.
Just popped
So-
in. We have A-Bomb versus Wally West, the Flash, going at it here.
Yeah.
We've each done a round so far. We have Frankie taking Derby Dickles.
Oh!
I know. I'm sorry.
Brutal. Good.
We had Oracle take War Machine, and
Oh, no wonder he did. I wasn't here to defend War Machine.
and we had Arthur taking the Spoiler, which just happened before you arrived. And now we are doing A-Bomb versus Wally West, Kid Flash.
That's right. So as I was saying, Rick Jones has been sidekick to everybody. He eventually found his way back to the Hulk, and he eventually, I think we found out it was through the Leader and MODOK, he gained kind of like, he pretty much became like a version of the Abomination, if you guys know that villain from the Hulk.
Yeah.
Of course.
And that was because they injected him with the Abomination's blood. And long story short, he basically eventually was able to kind of turn back and forth to, from Rick Jones to A-Bomb and have control mentally. But he kind of pulled a She-Hulk and would actually just stay A-Bomb because he was like, well, I have all this super strength and invulnerability. I might as well do it. So that's Rick Jones as A-Bomb. Then on the other side, you have Wally West, Kid Flash, sidekick to Barry Allen, the Flash. As we've talked about, Wally West far exceeded Barry Allen as far as powers and all that. But, at the time we're doing this, we'll say like what? He's like, this is like Teen Titans time. Like he's kind of, he's a sidekick, but he's like kind of, he's developed his powers enough. So this is an interesting fight because, you have this immovable object of strength, and then you have this guy who can like go at super speeds. But what is that speed going to do, as far as impacting somebody who's almost invulnerable, right? Who's like on a Hulk level. So the way I see this going is it's, in the desert somewhere. First Flash is like, okay, how do I beat this guy? Let's throw a bunch of like car wreckage at him. It's doing that. It's not doing anything. I'm going to try and do a super punch, with just do a whole bunch of force and see if I can do that. Nothing. He's just bouncing back and forth. So now he's got to get creative. Now he's a smart guy, right? He becomes a forensic scientist later on in his life.
Yeah.
So he's got brains. He's not just going to he's going to realize that the brute force thing is not going to work. So he starts to, so they're in the desert. He starts to run circles around A-Bomb, and A-Bomb's just like, yeah, okay, have fun. But what he doesn't know is that as he's running in these circles, he's actually just sending him further and further down into the center of the earth until he's going to hit lava, because he figures, lava is going to damage this guy. So finally he's going. A-Bomb falls down into a pit of lava. Wally West shoots back up. He's like, woo, I did it. But what do we like to have in these competitions? We love resurrections. We love Terminator moments where you think you killed it. Everybody takes that big sigh of relief and everything's going to be okay.
Right.
But it's not going to be okay. You understand that, Wally? So, coming out of this pit of hell is Rick Jones, A-Bomb. His coating is definitely melted. He looks more like Abomination now. He's like half dissolved. He's coming out and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Now he's just blind fury rage. All little Rick Jones niceties are gone. And he's coming at Wally West. Wally West is freaking out like, oh my God, I can't kill this guy. What can I do? What can I do? He starts making a funnel. He's doing a funnel. It looks like nothing from the inside. It looks like he's doing a little tornadoes like they all do with their flash hands. But what he's actually doing is sucking out the oxygen from A-Bomb's mouth until he can't breathe anymore. He suffocates and dies.
Wow. That's a good one. I wasn't thinking about that. My first thought when you brought up this fight was that Wally's going to phase through him multiple times and try to explode him. And
that's a good one.
Possibly.
I don't think he'd be there with his powers yet, though. I don't know.
Right. That's why I stopped in to bring that up, because also I think that as he gets older, he does realize that creates a certain type of energy that could possibly empower someone that's like atomic like that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. So I mean that is something that could be like putting a couple Energizer batteries in the bunny. You know, he's just gonna keep going and going and going, and it's probably a good thing he didn't do that. Taking the air out, that's an easy fix. It's a vicious way to do it.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's just out of desperation. Like he's like, this is an unkillable monster, and he just freaks out, and he's like, ah.
Yeah. So good call. I think that's a fair fight. That's a fair technique from a character that has tried that hard, and A-Bomb really gave him a run for his money.
Yeah.
Anybody else? We good on Wally taking A-Bomb?
I'm good.
All right. So we're going to move A-Bomb out of the picture, and we are going to bring Wally on in the middle here as the champion of this round. He'll be moving on to the quarterfinals. So congratulations, Wally West. Now, this is Jarrett's second one. Kevin and I still have one more to go. Darren, did you want to do one now?
Now, just a brief reminder. It's hard to organize my things. Who was I to do again?
Kevin, he was doing, what was he? Roy versus Aqualad, right? Arsenal versus Aqualad?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We'll give you
a second to organize.
Yeah, we'll give you a few. Real quick, guys, we have somebody that popped in. It's a name that I recognize. I recognize Kevin. Well, yeah, he's here. Evan's here.
It's Evan. Okay.
Yeah, Evan's here, but it's a different name, Kevin. It's his name sounds so familiar. It's Darren, you might know it as well. Chris Duquet.
Chris Duquet's joined us. Excellent.
Just popped in to say hello. Hey, Chris.
Thanks for joining us, Chris. Appreciate it.
Chris, you probably recognize, of course, Kevin and Darren over here. Yeah, you might not know Jarrett. Jarrett's not an ArcLight alumni. So.
He's a righteous
man.
But
I've gone to theater several times.
Yeah, there we go.
I was a patron.
Right. Yeah, he's Marty's friend, Martin Wurst. That's how I met him, through him. He's the worst.
He is.
It's Wurst, I tell you, Wurst!
Okay, so, Kevin, did you want to go next? Yeah, it's really good to see you too, Chris. I mean, in textual form, not in face form. We'll have to get together sometime, for sure. It's been, Kevin said, 3 years?
Yeah, something like that, like 3 or 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 years since we went to that bar and we saw you there bartending. Yeah, so we'll definitely have to get together. Hit us up. Anyway, Kevin, go ahead. You are the next round, if you would like. I believe you have a very interesting one.
Basically Wondergirl versus Donna Troy versus Krypto the Superdog.
Oh, wow.
And even right now, I'm still trying to figure out where I want to end this because this is a little interesting.
Well, I do want to just tell you, Kevin. Donald just texted me. We just have a representative from PETA sign on. So just,
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
We
You
have
know what?
never offended PETA on this podcast.
I'm not trying to sway you a certain way, but
Now wait a second. You know there are two PETAs. There's PETA for the people for the ethical treatment of animals, but there's also PETA, people for eating tasty animals.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. There
Wow.
actually is a counter PETA organization.
I prefer pita bread and chips.
You don't prefer people for the eating of tasty animals?
I mean, I do, I guess. I mean, that's some ballsy stuff. So, yeah. All right, PETA. Both PETAs.
Okay, well, we don't want to offend vegetarians and vegans.
All PETA.
Oh, PETA. Oh, I like PETA too. PITA. Oh, I love PETA bread. That's good.
Yeah, you also like The Rock's PETA.
Oh, he makes one? Oh, I didn't know that.
You just close your eyes and he'll give you a taste.
Hey, Donald, since when did we get John Boyega on the podcast?
Oh, yeah, John's been here for a while. He's just down here below me, hanging out from Star Wars land. We get all the stars here on the Real Short Box, guy.
Yeah. Minus the British accents, of course. But for those who don't know, Donna Troy, or Wondergirl, is the younger sister of Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, that everyone knows about. And, she's similar in power set. She is considered immortal. She has vast superhuman strength, speed, reflexes, hand-to-hand combat, and something I wasn't aware of, which is kind of a factor for me in this matchup, cold and darkness manipulation, along with her lasso of persuasion and indestructible bracelets. Then you have our buddy Krypto the Superdog.
Real quick, before you start on Krypto, we got a comment here. It's particularly for Darren. It's from Street Slim, and he says, "Hey, Darren, you like my hair?"
I absolutely do. And, when I met you initially, Street Slim, our first conversation was about the Police Academy movies. And that was a fun conversation for me. And go Police Academy.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Eugenio, by the way, Street Slim, if you haven't seen Season 4, Episode 4 of The Blue Beetle, we give you and Catfish a real nice credit in there in the tiles at the end, and we also bring out the end of the whole entire series with the song that you created and was so nice to allow us to use for the web series. Because I don't know if everybody knows this, but I created this web series called The Blue Beetle Ted Cord Returns, superhero. Yeah, it's really cool. It's on Rumble Spoon Productions, the YouTube under Rumble Spoon Productions as well. Highly recommend it.
Please watch it.
Did the editing on the last 2 episodes of this season. Some of the best, if not the absolute best editing you will ever see in your entire life. It's amazing.
We spent $1.2 million on all 4 seasons.
Right.
It was record-breaking at the time.
Right. And I'm just going to bring up, we got a comment from Chris Duque. It says, Blue Beetle needs to save the world right now. And Chris, I agree. I don't know if you saw my post recently, Chris, but I did on Facebook. I think we're still friends on there. I had a beetle, strangely enough, that landed on my doorstep. And after talking to Maria about the situation, I decided that maybe he landed there because he wanted to meet the Blue Beetle. So I dressed up as the Blue Beetle and picked the little beetle up and put him in my hand, and then we did a little photo session like you would like at a convention or something with your star that you wanted a picture with. And then through the night, I put him in a little potted plant outside, and then through the night he passed away. So
what?
I can't do much for all the craziness that's going on right now, but if I can bring a little love even to some insects, I'm happy to do it. So sorry about that interruption, Kevin. You can go ahead and go on in.
Krypto was one of the last animals of Krypton, to leave before it exploded. He was launched into space as part of an experiment. And, of course, he happens to end up on Earth. And, of course, with the yellow sun, able to have similar powers to Superman, super strength, flight, invulnerability, super speed, heat vision, free X-ray vision, all that good stuff. So the way I have this set up, I have to kind of make Krypto something of a villain to make this fight work, because
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, let me explain.
It's
Whoa.
not Cujo.
No, whoa! I'm glad you said that. The reason why he's kind of a bad guy is because your boy Lex Luthor infected him with silver kryptonite. Now, silver kryptonite, what that does to a Kryptonian, it messes with them. It causes them to lose their ambitions. It alters their perceptions. It causes extreme hunger cravings. And in this case, to add to that, it causes space rabies. So,
Space rabies.
yes,
Space rabies.
So
that's different.
Krypto's not himself, man. You know, so he's attacking children. He's going after people. He's chewing them up, killing them. He's going Cujo style, basically. I'm glad you said that, Jared. Exactly.
Space rabies.
So Donna Troy has to do something. So she's trying to calm down, trying to talk to him. She even uses the lasso of persuasion, and for some reason it doesn't work. It's just crazy. He actually, gets out of it and just going crazy, attacking her. So she's doing everything. I mean, he even used his red, his heat vision on her. She uses her bracelets to block it. I mean, it's crazy. It's madness.
Uh-huh.
But one thing that does help during this fight, while she is being injured, she's being chewed up, she's bleeding. She uses her cold and darkness manipulation to basically transport Krypto out of the solar system, out away from the reach of a yellow sun, so he's not as powered up. And then she's trying to reason with Krypto. Hey, boy, please calm down, little buddy. But still, it's not working. So
that's the same way I talk to my penis, by the way.
Calm down, little buddy.
I didn't know you had one, sir.
Oh, really? Oh, really? I'll bring up a little story, Kevin.
It involved space scabies.
It space herpes, at least.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So with her transporting him to an area that doesn't have a yellow sun, and still trying to reason with the little boy, hey boy, calm down, come on, little buddy, comes after her again and bites a chunk of her arm off. She had no choice but to unfortunately break the little guy's neck.
Aww.
So it's sad. I know Peter's gonna be mad at me for the murder of a sweet, precious,
Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Street Slim says he could hear you talk all day. He also says that Underdog is greater than Krypto, and
I like Underdog.
And I'm gonna agree with you there. I think he is greater than Krypto as far as power set and what he can do and stuff, particularly because he's smarter. Krypto's a good boy, and he's a smart dog, but Underdog is basically an anamorphic character that, is disguised as a dog. It's basically a human in dog form, if you look at it that way. So, going back real quick to Krypto and Donna, they both have some speed to them. Krypto's going to be faster.
Yeah.
And he's going to be powered up by the sun, so he's going to have some speed.
It's a problem.
Dogs are unpredictable. I don't know if you know animals in general, but they're not usually too predictable. You can't just... I mean, that's why we put them on leashes for the most part, because you can't let them off their leash. Superman don't give a shit. Superman just lets dogs go off the leash all the time. He doesn't care, because he's a horrible, horrible dog owner.
Yeah, terrible.
So he lets Krypto go. Krypto also has what we would call Krypto Bite, which would be basically power chonkers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when he uses his heat vision on Donna, and she goes to block it with her bracelets, he's already in on her, and he's already bit off parts of her fingers and shit. He's a mean.
So you're saying after she's done that, he's already...
She's like this, blocking it. He's already over here, gnawing on her damn fingers and biting them off. So she's blocking this. She looks down after blocking it. It's done. The ray's done. And then she starts screaming because half of her hands are gone. They're like bloodied stumps this. And she's like,
I've already discussed that. A chunk of her arm's already been bitten off.
Right.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. So
Lasso's been taken out too. Yeah.
here's the thing, and Batman, you can listen to this too.
Yeah, Batman's very intrigued by this matchup.
See, I knew he would be.
Oh my goodness!
Knew
there
he would be.
Batman.
See?
Oh.
See? Yes. Eugenio, Superman is a dick sometimes. Absolutely. In fact, buddy, if you ever come over to my place again, in my bathroom I have the wall of pictures of comic books of Superman being a dick, what we call the wall of super dickery, which is pretty fun, actually. He's pulling apart the hose for air for Lois out in space at one point. He's like, there's water, and he's standing at a water hydrant, and like everybody's like, Superman, we're dying, we're so thirsty, and he's like, nobody gets a drop.
Yes, my favorite.
So Superman is a dick. He's a dick. You know, it's just the way he is. He's a dick, and he's a dick in comics, and he raised a dick dog. Krypto's a dick. We don't always see it like on the covers and stuff.
With space rabies.
But Krypto's just as big of a dick. Speaking of that, we also did not take into account his super hump capabilities.
Oh no!
Wait,
Krypto is not neutered. Krypto was full on Randy and ready.
Yeah, there's no way you could neuter him because there's the tools. There's no tools.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you like use kryptonite around his penis and his balls and just like, you know.
Are we doing the kryptonite balls thing?
Of course we are. Of course we are. So we have to take into account that Krypto's rabid. He's totally crazy. He's totally unpredictable, and he's horny as hell. That is a deadly combination. I don't see Donna ever being able to recover from a super hump. Like, in general, on any part of her body. Like, he would jam that thing through her skin and just create holes in her legs.
Wait, I have a question for you. I know I was bad. I got this to R rating. Now you're getting us to NC-17 and X. What's up with that, man?
No, this is like dark web, actually.
Seriously.
This is
like
serious dark web. This is how hard I'm pushing for Krypto on this one. I mean, I don't know if anybody agrees with me on it.
Not as hard as he was pushing, Donald.
I mean, look, Donald. I would have went with Krypto, but when I discovered that Donna has this darkness manipulation power, I said, shoot, that could come in handy, as a last ditch effort to save her.
So, Street Slim says, imagine Krypto going to the bathroom. I wouldn't want to clean that up.
No. First of all, you may not be able to lift it.
And I agree.
These are the intellectual conversations we regularly have at the Real Short Bucket for our newcomers.
It's a very dark one we're having.
And Maria says super hump. Good God. So
yeah, seriously, I wasn't going there. I wasn't going there.
I'm just saying, dogs are dogs. They're beasts. They'll do whatever is within their nature.
Kevin, is that a Martinelli's apple juice?
You're absolutely right, sir. The best.
I never was a big fan of the bottle. It looks like a jug of urine to me. Just always been my view on it. So
Kevin loves jugs of urine.
There we go. Jugs.
Yes, I collect them.
Jugs of urine, sponsored by the Real Short Box.
Once you go camping and learn how to use a jug of urine, you never go back.
True.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm gonna say Krypto takes it. That's my personal opinion.
That's your personal opinion.
I can totally outvoted on this. If you think Donna takes it, that's a very strong argument for Donna, particularly with her teleportation abilities. I honestly could go either way. So if the group says Donna, I'm with you. But if the group says Krypto, Donna, I'm saying it's all due to the super hump.
Okay. Jared, what do you think? Do you think Krypto...
I did like the Donald's reasoning.
Super hump.
I can't see it, but I don't want to see it. So I'm going to go. I'm going Donna.
Okay. 2-1. And what about you, Mr. Darren?
Oh, I'm going Donna.
What'd you say?
I'm going Donna. I'm going against Donald. You got to remember too, like you're talking about very powerful superheroes here. In my opinion, you could see this going either way, but look, you pay for us to give an opinion, and that is the opinion.
Right. I get it. I'm just saying, super horny dog, literally super horny dog. But
man, kids.
Fuck you guys. Fuck that shit.
hey, I get an extra vote from Batman, so it's actually only won 3-2.
He literally did start barking though once I was like, Donna. He's like,
Look, kids do read comics, though. I mean, I would hate for kids to have to see such a horrible scene.
Well, we're not putting it in a comic, Kevin.
Yeah.
And if these kids are on YouTube Live right now watching this, well, then they deserve what they get.
That's true.
That's true. So Donna wins this round. She takes it neat and clean. Darren, if you still need time, I'll go next.
No, I'm good.
You're good?
If I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So you are going to be doing Arsenal versus Aqualad.
Yes.
Let me bring up the characters while you give us just a little teensy tidbit about each character, so people that haven't chimed in before or checked in know about the character, and those that have are not bored.
Okay, so Arsenal's definitely a common name for this guy. You might know him as the Red Arrow, Speedy also, but Red Arrow is usually a lot of people will go to him. So as I like to do, I like to break down their actual abilities. I keep notes on this so that we can, I like to operate on these things kind of like a lawyer. I want to build a case, and then I want to explain to you my opinion. So we're talking about a guy with superhuman abilities. It's the most general way I can put it. Athlete, master archer, master marksman, martial artist, master of Mugi Gong, which is a form of karate, weapons expert, trick arrows, espionage, all good stuff. Aqualad, you're basically looking at can breathe underwater, obviously, can swim at super speed, has super strength, and can withstand underwater pressures. Okay, so the way I see this, I'm kind of like the computer in War Games, if you remember that movie. I have run, in my brain, many scenarios,
14,000 simulations.
14,000 simulations, thank you. Or as people would say at this point, we'd call them, what's that word? It's escaping me. Algorithms. Run all these algorithms, and the fact of the matter is there's no algorithm that I have run in which Aqualad does not win. And the reason I say this is because despite Red Arrow and how skilled he is, how dangerous he is, he does not have superhero qualities as much as he does human qualities.
Right.
And in a situation like this, I have to picture a scenario where Aqualad could actually die in a fight. And the problem that you're going to come into, I don't think in terms of comic book logic, that you can have a regular human being defeat someone who's invulnerable, at least not on a regular basis.
Have you ever tried to punch somebody in a pool underwater? It's really hard. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's like a feather slapping someone's face. It doesn't hurt. Imagine shooting an arrow into the ocean. Same thing. I think you're 100% correct. There's no way Arsenal.
Well, you have to look at this, too. Like, you're talking about a scenario where Aqualad draws him to the water. I don't think Aqualad needs to do that. I think on land he's going to devastate him. I mean, Aqualad is not, in my view, as powerful as Aquaman, but he has a lot of those similar powers and strength sets, and I just don't think that Red Arrow, it's one of those things I hate to say, but it's a bloodline thing. Like, the dude does not have superhero blood. So that's my view on it. I just don't think this is particularly close.
Also, you have to look. There's two big major things we have to look at. Aqualad, because he's in the ocean, his skin is tougher. He's more dense because he has that pressure. So even an arrow most likely won't even pierce his skin.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be ineffective. The only thing he can do is with his trick arrows, his bomb arrows, his things like that. That punching bag arrow, out the door. But here's the other thing that I want to talk about. This is the big elephant in the room, guys. We all know Arsenal used to be Speedy, and at one time Speedy had a real bad addiction to coke, right?
Mm-hmm. Smack, heroin.
Name Speedy.
Smack, heroin. Yeah, all the drugs. So, how many times do you think those drugs were dumped into the ocean? Like, plane crash, things like that.
Many times.
You imagine Aqualad has the ability over the years to take ocean water and reconstitute whatever's in that water back into whatever it originally was molecularly to create that original form, he's probably got a whole cache of like heroin and cocaine and marijuana and everything. All he has to do is just like throw some of that up into the air, and Arsenal's dropping everything and just snorting all around, just trying to get right to it, just trying to
just kill them by OD.
get it into his veins.
No, even better, just right when he's in the middle of the act, just
middle of the snort, just ends him.
Thank you so much for that, Donald. We've now offended everyone who goes to AA.
Oh, I know. We've already offended PETA. We offended AA.
I don't think they watch this anyway. I would probably make them very thirsty.
I mean,
now, Donald, one thing that's interesting you brought up in terms of just his skin density. Let's assume the arrow went through.
Yeah.
So what? So what if the arrow goes through? I mean, this is a superhero we're talking about with godlike abilities. Who cares?
Very, very much so. Very much so.
You'll probably laugh.
Arsenal didn't stand a chance. Aquaman moves on. I've been snorting coke off his arm for a while. You guys can't see it, but
Right, seriously.
Yeah, no argument. No argument.
all right, Aquaman takes it. So Aquaman moves on to the quarterfinals.
Now we've saved the best for last.
Running down the line real quick, we have Frankie for the quarterfinals. We have Donna Troy for the quarterfinals. We have Arthur for the quarterfinals. We have Oracle for the quarterfinals. Wally West, and now Aqualad. So it's a good fight coming up. Coming down the pike, we're going to have some good battles, guys. Some real good battles. And
Last battle.
we're also going to have to look at who takes a bye.
Yep.
Because we're going to have 7 characters, and we're going to only be able to have 3 fights.
That means someone actually gets to skip a battle and go straight to the semifinals.
Right. So we'll all vote on that, including everybody that is in the chat right now on YouTube Live. Will be voting live with us tonight to see who skips the fight, takes a bye, and moves on to the final round.
Who said this was a democracy?
Well, up till a few weeks ago, the United States Constitution, and I assume that still applies, but
no, we're actually a constitutional republic, but that's a technicality.
He is correct.
Sorry, I fell asleep. What were you saying?
We believe in democratic processes, but never mind. This is not why people are here.
Maria just stated that she wants a tag team. I assume she's talking about the character.
Yeah, that's make sure that's not on like a private message text.
It's on the screen right now. I'm like highlighting it right here. Yeah, it's great. Okay. All right, so here we go. So the final round, guys, the final battle. I've been saving this one.
Yeah, save for last. It's the best
I've been
one.
saving this one because this one I think is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. Something that you'll never see in your time again.
Bloody.
We have Dick Grayson, a.k.a. Nightwing, Master of Martial Arts, versus the one, the only, Kato of the Green Hornet.
Donald, be careful. Do not offend our Asian
Master
audience.
of Martial Arts.
This is a top quality fight.
Yes, but don't offend our Asian audience.
Also, don't offend our dick audience.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring up a little bit, guys, on Nightwing and Kato. So Kato, really in the comic books, they don't define it so much as far as like his abilities and what he does. They just say he's a master of martial arts.
Right.
So if you look into what in the dictionary, according to what the dictionary states, what martial arts means, it's various sports or skills, mainly of Japanese origin, that originated as forms of self-defense or attack, such as judo, karate, kendo, things like that. So we're assuming he at least has 3 or 4 different types of martial arts at his disposal. So Kato is an extremely, extremely, extremely formidable foe. We know this we don't mess around with Kato. You don't mess with him. You could probably mess with the Green Hornet and be better off than messing with Kato. Kato's one bad mother effer. But when you're looking at what Dick Grayson has, and by the way, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Dick Grayson Nightwing is. He's originally the Robin sidekick from Batman. He's Bruce Wayne's first original sidekick that basically graduated onto Nightwing. And Kato is a sidekick of the Green Hornet, from the TV series to the comic books to the pulps, all that. So, looking at Nightwing's martial arts and what he knows, he does a fighting style that combines, and excuse me for my my disability when it comes to pronunciation, Eskrima, Judo, Savate, Capoeira, and
Capoeira.
Capoeira.
Is it Capoeira?
Yeah.
Apoeira?
Yeah, because it's
Capoeira.
Portuguese. So you have to
Wow, that's interesting.
It's a Brazilian martial art.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like that dancing one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There's actual fighting too.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
incorporates dancing.
Aikido, boxing, Wing Chun, Hapkido, Jeet Kune Do, Taijin Quan, Ninjutsu, and Bojutsu. And
Okay. Sorry, if I could just comment. As someone who took martial arts, you cannot know that many martial arts. I'm sorry. That's impressive.
Look, I took
it's
martial arts too.
it's
and I
very
know six of
impressive. Also, take into consideration he is an acrobat, being one of the Flying Graysons, the one that didn't die.
Yeah. So
So,
he's got better skills than them. Yeah.
so here's the thing, though. Like, the same thing when Nightwing went into battle with Casey Jones in the last round. Casey Jones from the Ninja Turtles, guys, lost to Nightwing in round 1. The same thing is going to happen with Nightwing in Kato, particularly because he doesn't know these cats. You know, these are two new characters outside of his universe. He has no idea who they are. He's never heard anything about them. Kato looks like a limo driver because he actually is a limo driver. He's also his sidekick of the Green Hornet and one of the deadliest men in the, what would it be, Dynamite Comics universe. Prior to that, the Now Comics universe, which at some point we will be doing a spotlight on the history of Now Comics. I think it's very important, and I think Darren should definitely be involved in this, particularly because of the exclusive and extensive amount of Married with Children comics we got from the Now Comics world. And we all know here at the Real Short Box of your love for Married with Children. So, we have... What's that?
Grandmaster B?
What about him?
Do you remember when his son Bud wanted to become a rapper and he got like a Raiders hat and like a starter jacket and then called himself Grandmaster B?
Oh.
Yeah, Bud got into rapping in real life for a little bit.
Wow, really?
Yep.
That I did not know.
But the best thing that was funny about it is when his sister would literally never pronounce it correctly. She's like, "Oh, look, it's Grandma B."
Enrique is throwing his thoughts in the circle here. He says, "I think I have to go with Nightwing." So Enrique thinks he should go with Nightwing. Enrique, I'm not going to argue with you on this. I think Nightwing goes into the fight not knowing who Kato is, thinking he's a driver, and he's like, "Hey, take me to your main boss because I'm going to go kick his ass." And Kato's
he's like, "Who do you think I am, Doiby Dickles?"
Exactly, yeah. He's like, "Who do you think I am, Doiby Dickles?" And ninja chop right to the back of the head. And Nightwing goes down. And he's like, "Oh my god, I misjudged this dude. This guy's legit." He turns around. He does a kick sweep. Doesn't work. Kato jumps up in the air, misses him by a mile. Nightwing's like, okay, let me bring out some weapons. Throws his weapons out at him. You know, whoosh-ha! Like that. And Kato, boom, deflect. And he's like, oh, okay, so you know this martial art, and this martial art. Plus this one. So, what we did not know is that he was literally testing him the entire time, as he was not knowing quite who he was or what he could do. This is where the detective skills of him being the protege of Batman comes into play, and he knows now what he's capable of. So he gets to work. He gets to work fast. Takes about 15 minutes, which is a long time in the comic book world for a fight, I will say. Kato puts up quite the struggle. Quite the struggle. But unfortunately, he succumbs to Nightwing's prowess, and just for the fact that Nightwing is just the master of the martial arts. Kato is prolific in it, and he might be a master in some, but Nightwing just seems to be a master of every one. So, unfortunately...
so he's a true jack of all trades.
Right. Kato takes a fall and loses this round, and Nightwing then moves on to the quarterfinals.
All right, so that's the fourth demographic we've just lost now.
Sorry, Kevin, I'm not here to appease people. I'm here to speak the truth.
Also, I'll say Kato never really had the balls to go out on his own. He was still the driver. So, like, you know, at least... At least Dick was like, you know what? I'm sick of living in the shadow of Batman. I'm going to go out on my own.
Kato even got replaced. Kato even got replaced by a woman in the comic books.
Kevin, are you actually keeping score of our political correctness?
Of course he is.
It wasn't me at first. It was actually Jared originally. So I thought we don't let me pile on here.
Okay.
Sorry, Maria. Sorry. I know she was rooting for Kato, but that is just not going to happen, unfortunately.
Now, if it was Kato Kalin, that would be a different.
Oh.
Yeah, he would have lost way faster.
Dude, Kato Kalin is a perfect example of when you're in a national scandal. Literally anybody can become famous.
That's right.
Yep.
Very true. Very true. Guys, I'm pulling in the characters one by one, all along in between us here. I'm going to try not to cover your faces. I have...
Hey, Darren, since you said we're a representative democracy, are we using the Electoral College for this vote?
I mean, we can. If people want to stay on our live stream for 7.5 hours, let's do it. I mean,
we have all 7 characters here. We have these guys have made it to the quarterfinals. They've done all their sidekicking. They've done all they can do. They are hard workers here. We have Wally West, Kid Flash. We have Barbara Gordon, the Oracle. We have Frankie from the Goon. We have Donna Troy. We have Arthur from the Tick. We have Aqualad, Garth, and we have Dick Grayson, a.k.a. Nightwing. So we have 7 characters, and we have a fight for 6 people. Now, what we can do, and everybody can vote on this, what we can do is we can either do where we throw 3 characters in one fight all together, and then we have 2 other fights. Or we do
the 3-way dance.
Right. Or we do 2 fight, 2 fight, 2 fight, and then we have 1 character take a bye. So, what do you guys, out of the 4 of us, vote for? And then I'll ask the audience.
Well, since Jared and I were talking about the good old wrestling days, ECW actually started this, the 3-way fight. Later, the other leagues, WWF and WCW, would take. I'm actually down with a 3-way fight instead of a bye. That'd be kind of cool.
Kevin does like a good 3-way.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, Kevin, way to offend that demographic.
Yes, seriously. Good Lord.
So I'm going to agree. I would like the fatal 3-way fight. I just think it's something that other podcasts would not be doing, and I don't like to be like other podcasts. That's just me.
Plus, the other 6 fighters would be pissed off if one guy or one gal gets a bye. This is sit back and chill and just.
So, guys, if I may offer my opinion here, if we are going to go a 3-way fight, Enrique agrees he's down for a triple threat. So we've got 1 vote from the audience.
All right.
So if we do a 3-way fight, let's do Kid Flash, Aqualad, and Donna Troy. What are your thoughts?
That's legit. That's the way to go.
And
a civil war between the Teen Titans.
So what this will probably do is this will probably pit Dick Grayson versus Oracle, and most likely pit Arthur versus Frankie.
Oh God, I love that one.
Ooh, That's nice.
So we have another vote for 3 against 3 from Janet. So so far it's a unanimous decision.
America loves three ways.
They do.
Apparently they do. Apparently they do.
So
anyone else
speaking for America?
So basically, what this means is that's going to put us at if one character wins out of the 3-way, and then one character wins between the Arthur and Frankie, and one character wins between the Oracle and Nightwing. That's going to leave us with 3 characters again. In which case, I feel that should be the final 3 that goes into our final battle. So we'll have 2 more weeks of Sidekick fighting. We'll have this next one where it's 3 fights, and then we'll have the next time after that, the week afterward, it'll be 1 giant fight of 3 characters that we'll all work on together. And we'll also be peppering in, I feel like, a few little other tidbits of fun.
And a Q&A. Ask us any questions.
We're going to do the Ask Us Any Questions. We might have some casting that we'll do for some comic book TV series or movie that's going to be coming out. Or we might do a future cast for one that we would like to see done, which I think is a cool idea. And I don't know about you guys. But coming up with a comic book that we all enjoyed that hasn't had any movement in the comic book like television or movie world that we could cast and say, hey, Netflix, Amazon, Warner Brothers, Disney, somebody take a look at this. Here you go. We're handing it to you. This is an amazing cast for an amazing series, and this is why. So,
yeah,
could be doing some stuff like that as well. So we've got a lot of fun things coming up. Before we say goodnight, we got a few minutes left here. I just want to see if anybody in the audience here on YouTube has any questions that they would like to throw out.
And while we're waiting for questions, Donald, let's have a conversation here. You and Kevin, I'm sorry, Jared, I didn't have you in this thread. When I was out Saturday enjoying the county just south of us, I was at a comic book shop that has some really cool books, but some extraordinary prices. We had a 7.5 CGC graded first appearance of Doctor Strange in Strange Tales for $7,000. Now, about where would that book really go on the scale of sale?
I mean, what was it? It was a 7.5.
7.5.
For 7,000?
Yeah.
It's weird because he's a definite, like, he's like what, like a solid B+ Marvel character?
Yeah. With a good movie, to be fair.
Yeah.
Don't tell Benedict Cumberbatch that.
I don't know. It sounds kind of high, right?
Yeah, I would say in my head I wouldn't go any higher than 5. If I was
about to say it. 5 at best.
If I was looking to make a sale, I would start out for sure at 5 on like an eBay auction or something like that. And I honestly, I'd probably put it at 5.5 so I could get 5 out of it because between eBay and taxes that's charged now and everything, I'm gonna go on a little tirade here. Feebay, as I like to call it now, recently has started charging tax. So no matter where you make a purchase, you're charged tax for that purchase.
That's not eBay. That's the state of California, just so you know.
Right. It's funny you mention because I just got an email from Patreon telling me that July 1st they're doing the same thing, sales tax for California.
And I get that, but they shouldn't have to bow down to the state of California for that kind of nonsense.
I agree.
Particularly because if you're buying something that's outside of the state of California,
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. You could drive to Arizona and purchase something, and yes, you'd have to pay tax there if you're buying it, but if you're getting it online, you shouldn't have to, particularly if someone in Arizona is buying something in California and they don't have to pay tax, but we're buying something in Arizona, but we have to pay tax. We're already a hard-hit enough state when it comes to that kind of stuff. I just don't think it's fair. So I'm against it. I think eBay should have fought back a little harder. I think there should have been a little more community involvement with that, but whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, around 5,000 I think is a fair price for 7.5 first Doctor Strange, but you said 7,500?
7,000.
7,000. 7,000 is a little much for me. It's a little rich for my blood. I wouldn't do it. Particularly because I don't know how many Doctor Strange films we're going to see, to be honest.
Right.
I believe 4 more.
you don't hear people going, "Oh, Doctor Strange, I want another movie." You don't hear that. You hear Spider-Man, Avengers, Thor.
You're saying that people don't want more Benedict Cumberbatch? Is that what you're saying, sir?
I'm saying the first movie was good. It wasn't great. His involvement with the Avengers was a lot of fun, but he's not up to that level where that character should demand that amount right now.
But I love the character like from the comics. Like, you know, the movie I thought was it was good. It was good. And I liked him. Yeah, I liked how they used him in the further films. I think that's just a book though that like that's like a collector's book of like who if you really like that character and you want his first appearance. It's also when I remember his first appearance, like he's not on the cover, so it's like it's another kind of those weird ones. So it's like you'd have to tell people every time, like you know what that is? That's Doctor Strange's first appearance, and then they'd be like, oh cool, and then you'd be like, oh man, I spent $7,000.
That is a big problem. Marvel had a real big problem with that on their first appearances. They didn't like to put a lot of times the characters. Even Wolverine's first appearance is not on the cover, which is why, for example, his first appearance, they like to say his first full appearance is his actual first appearance because it's Hulk 181. And that's where he's in the whole book entirely, and he's on the cover. It presents well, it actually looks great. Versus 180, where he's just in one panel, I think, at the end, right? Where he's just...
Right, and he does speak a word, so some people use that as, oh, that's the real first appearance, because he spoke words.
And it's like, that's great, you couldn't afford 181, I get that, and you want to argue for 180, because now you own that, and you want that to be more valuable. It's not going to happen. I mean, it'll go up in value, so you're still going to get some value, but it's never going to be 181 value.
It's like Amazing Spider-Man 299, you know? Well, Venom is there, so therefore that's the appearance.
Yeah. But something I want to ask you too, Donald, it's like after Doctor Strange's movies are done, which, I mean, could be relatively short order, is that book going to drop down, or is it just set itself a new ceiling that we have to live with and it's only going to go up?
It could drop. It could definitely potentially drop. Even Black Panther from the first movie, as popular as that character was, and as popular as the movie was itself, between then and now, the cost of that book has dropped some, because there's anticipation for the second one, but not a rabid anticipation for it, in other words.
Well, that's why this is the time to go and get a FF52 and 53, so when things drum up again in 2021 or 2022, I think it's 2022 when the next one comes out, then you could benefit it.
Yeah, I saw a copy at this comic shop over there. I want to say it was about a 6.5, and it was going for about $1,000, the Black Panther first appearance. So,
that's pretty high, right?
What grade did I get, Kevin, on mine? What did he grade out as?
You get like a 7 or something like that?
I think it was a 6.5. I paid $250 for a 6.5 before the first movie hit, years before they announced the first movie. So I got a really good deal. But I don't think that's a terrible price for something like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's a much... And it's funny, because I don't see that character as any less of a character as far as, like, where he stands in the canon of the Marvel Universe. I see the Black Panther and I see Doctor Strange, and they're like right here. So for a 7.5 Doctor Strange to be up this high, and what was it, a what grade?
6.5.
6.5 Black Panther to be like clear down here, just seems weird to me. It doesn't add up, and I think I'm going to agree with Jared on it, is that Doctor Strange, don't get it unless you're absolutely in love with the character, because it's not something that's gonna like fund your next house or your kid's graduation or
I also
college.
Think that Strange Tales book, I mean, it could possibly be much more rare and hard to come by, because I think Black Panther's first appearance is you don't have to look far to get it.
It's not a Fantastic Four #5.
I will say this: when I see people and I watch like auctions a lot, like I would say the Doctor Strange book is probably more rare because I never see that one for sale. Maybe like once, twice.
Yeah.
But I see the Black Panther one for sale all the time, and I see that one getting bought.
Hey,
So,
guys, just real quick, I wanna note that Kevin so far has only mentioned his Doctor Strange book once in this podcast. One time.
Wait, I'm not following you.
Or Doctor Doom, I'm sorry.
Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom, my apologies.
we're all doctors. Oh, we offended doctors now.
Yep, now we're out. Can't go to the doctors now.
That and 50 cents will get you a coffee cup of respect from me, Kevin. You want to impress me? Go dunk a basketball.
Dunk a basketball?
Do a backflip.
Dunk a basketball? You know, Jarrett there, I saw him do a windmill when he used to live down here. I was very impressed.
Dominique style?
Yeah, Dominique style.
Well,
that was my guy. Dominique was the
gentlemen, I think we're winding down. That's about it for us, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so thanks everybody for coming out. That's Jarrett. This is Kevin. That's Darren.
We'll be back next week.
I'm Donald, and we're here with the short box, the real short box. Please, Kevin, mention some places where they can find us while Jarrett takes off his shirt.
iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Brewberry. I can never say that one right. SoundCloud. What else, Darren? Sprecher?
Obviously, Sprecker's my personal favorite. I like iHeartRadio.
That's a good one.
Spotify, who, by the way, just gave Joe Rogan a $100 million contract. So podcasters out there, you can be that guy.
Wow.
You know, we are working on a potential four-way $16 million deal with a unknown company, but we can't discuss
what that company is. We don't even know.
We get that offer every week here.
But we're working on it.
We usually turn them down.
You can always find us Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please find us on there.
Even MySpace.
No, we're not on MySpace. No.
our old music is, though.
I don't think we'll ever. Yeah, our whole music files are on there.
Friendster.
There's an entire song I made completely out of farts on there, by the way, guys. You'll love it. You'll love it. Maria's heard it. It's amazing. But thank you, guys. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's give our audience a quick round of applause, everybody.
Yes, smartest audience there is. The smartest audience on the internet.
Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for listening to the Real Short Box. And if someday we're allowed out of our homes, we will see you
at the comic shop.
Yeah.
Be safe out there.